Hey guys, so today is my Q&A day. I will try and do this weekly, but since I didn't do it last week, it's about time I do it this week. So let's get started. Number 1. So I tried to remember these questions by heart, which has been very difficult, which is why I've only memorized 10. And this was kind of like a few days ago. So if you've been asking some questions really recently, then they probably aren't going to be answered right now. So sorry. Let's do this anyway. So I specifically asked to ask questions to do with school and how you look. Although it doesn't really matter as long as you concentrate, pass all of your exams, and do all of your homework, get good grades, and end up being a lawyer or something great, then it doesn't matter at all. Unless you want to be one of those workers in Victoria's Secret, then it matters. Now, the first question, as I remember, was, do you think that it's important to look nice if you have I don't even know how to describe this. So basically, how do you think it's important to go dressed up at school as some kind of look-alike supermodel just because you want to compete with one of your fake arch nemesis? Now, and fake arch nemesis is like arch nemesis / not arch nemesis, because she's just like a random girl in your class who's just typical, has her own little group of friends, has her own world, and she just has her own world, and she kind of interferes with your world sometimes by communicating, and you respond, and she's always the glamorous one, always looking fabulous, and you're usually the hot mess and try to compete, but it's very difficult because she has no flaws at all, just flawless, and she just is glamorous and knows it, and you're so sick of her knowing that she's glamorous that you have to compete with her, but you're too afraid to admit that you are glamorous because you don't know if you are or not. And in this situation, it's really your choice, because this is a no-brainer. This doesn't have just one decision. This is just definitely, specifically, lots of different options. So the options that I came up with were, those options were to either compete with her and try to live your normal hot messed up life, or just be yourself, get on with your life, and just ignore her. I mean, who needs someone like that? I mean, if you have somebody in your life who annoys you constantly or just wrecks your day, then just I don't even know what you need to do. Just get rid of them. Just push them away. Just switch classes, switch form groups, whatever you do. So just, if you have someone like that, just avoid them. Not as in you're afraid, but you just don't need to set up a fight, because you know you will if someone said, would you rise to the occasion as to fight with her? To compete with her? And you're like, of course I would if I was challenged to do that, but since I am not getting asked to, I'm just pushing her away because I want to. So yeah. And number 2, as I remember, was, when you go, during high school, middle school, junior high, some of you people go through this phase where you may feel a little bit like self-conscious or body conscious, and you're not so highly proud of yourself. And sometimes you think that you're aware of that, and sometimes you think, and when you have this moment where you discover something that can just block all those flaws away, such as makeup, duh, and you use a ton of that to make sure nobody sees anything, well, they still can see the makeup. And if I were you, I would just put a tiny bit on and not really care what other people think. Because, like, there are more people in the world than just one little solo person in middle school, say, to pick on. I mean, hello? What is wrong with you people? Like, why do you waste your whole precious time to do this? What is wrong with you? Like, you've got exams, you've got homework, you've got family, you've got friends, relationships, you've got activities, clubs, school, holidays, traditions, stuff to do, video games, communication, the internet. Why are you wasting your time making someone else feel bad about themselves? Like, what are you doing? Moving on is someone else asked me the most difficult question for me to answer. And when it came up, my reaction was just like, do you really have to ask this on this very day? So I looked at the question, my reaction was just simply angry because I have no idea how to respond to that. So my reaction wasn't exactly thumbs up. I was like, I don't know how to answer that. Sorry, person. But after hours of thinking, I came up with a solution. So the question was, if you know this guy, what guy? Oh my goodness. Wow, okay. No, not that, no. So basically, say you're in some type of school, middle school, junior high, high school, whatever. So you're in school, and there's this guy who's completely flawless and glamorous, and you've got a crush on him, and you are also glamorous and flawless, and you're at least okay looking, so you're at least decent to look at and not to smirk at the same time. Because everybody gets looked at. I mean, what, are we invisible zombies? I don't think so! And oh my god. I think it's about time you ask him out in full confidence because you're so proud of what you look like and of who you are, then that's great. And you don't really know what, if he's proud of himself or of you or what he thinks of you at all, and he just says, yeah, sure, whatever. And if you ask someone and they're just like, yeah, sure, whatever, if they're just like, I don't mind, it means they don't care. It means it doesn't bother them at all. It's supposed to bother you. It's supposed to make a little bit of a change in your life that you're in a relationship. It's supposed to. And if the guy is just like, yeah, sure, whatever, I don't care. Well, it's about time that you say, go away, I don't need someone like that. So, my battery is low. And, oh right, I'm still doing this, aren't I? So, number 3 was, or was that number 3? Anyway, number 3/4, I don't know, I'm getting so mixed up. So, number 3/4 or whatever was this question, and I wasn't so sure because I've never really thought about that. I mean, everybody judges you sometimes by how you look because they don't even know your personality, so they can really only judge what you wear and what you look like. So, somebody asked me that, like, do you think that teachers give good grades or have, like, favorite students and stuff? And I think whoever asked that is extremely stupid. I mean, that is a typical question, but, like, what do you mean? I mean, I know what you mean, but teachers, it's not possible for them to have the one and only favorite in an entire school. For instance, my school starts from kindergarten when you're like 1 or something. I don't know how old you are in kindergarten, whatever. Up until you're in 6th form. Do you really think a teacher could have a favorite based on how you look? Maybe in a class you might have a favorite. Maybe in a tiny little work group. Possibly. But not in a whole entire school. So next time, just try to make your answers a bit more making sense. That make more sense and aren't so ridiculous. Okay? So, yeah. If you know that a teacher only likes you because of how you look, because everybody compliments you all the time, and you just seem like a pretty face to everybody and no-brainer, then just, I mean, some students are just get so annoyed of teachers because they only like them because of how they look, and that's the only reason why they pick them all the time and communicate with them, or because they're always smart and pretty, then you need to tell the, but you can't. You can't just go up to the teacher in full confidence with a huge rant and to let the teacher know how you truly feel about her liking only you or because of your looks. That's just a life rule you're not really supposed to like. Get into an argument with teachers. And may I just say one more thing? Teachers are horrible at punishing. Because detention is nothing. All you do in detention is possibly do your homework, read a book. That is such a punishment! Oh my god, I could have never survived 20 minutes for that. It's only 20 minutes of drinking some juice out of a carton with a straw and maybe reading Roald Dahl. The teachers don't check if you've read the book. They don't check anything. All they do is do their own work and behind their own desk and check everybody is there for detention and don't miss it and go out to break or lunch. And some teachers just send people out of their classroom to do another task. Now, that is something I guess is a kind of punishment, and they want to check the work. But sending them away from your class means they're in another classroom. They may lie to the other teacher. You know how smart students are these days. Sheesh. So, yeah. That was... I know that was only like 3-4 questions. And I'm sorry I lied to you guys, but my next Q&A will be a continuation of this video. So part 2 will be like on next Wednesday. So bye. Don't forget to like, comment, view, and one and only subscribe. And please tell me in the comments below what you think of all of these questions and answers.